get out stuff. Developed like a full feature film, fully developing the township in which these strange disappearances were taking place and providing background on the characters as well. Samuel played his character really well, as did Laura play her role of Evelyn, a caring and devoted officer. She played that role really well, and curious too, good investigator. The plot was driven incredibly well. I was never left wanting, and the end was justified. Overall, I'm left with a really complete picture, and I really invested into the characters and the story in this film, so it was nicely done.
What a well done film. From the opening sequence, the care and professionalism used in the cinematography and the camera to really do those opening shots into this town was so impressive. I mean, you knew the kind of film you were going to get right from the start. They really did an incredible job of setting that up. Then as for the story itself, the filmmaker did an amazing job of creating a full story, start, middle, end. The sound, lighting, all of the technical stuff was done to a very high standard. The acting was well done. The casting was also very well done. Really liked that they took you on a journey so you didn't know where the story was going to go. So we don't know until almost the very end.
Had the overall shape and feel of a full-length feature film. I think the writer definitely knows what they were doing here, the director, because it's definitely got that overall shape, and there's a lot of good playing with different cinematography elements, like use of shadow, and it's got a lot of the scenes you would expect in this sort of film, and they're all executed really well. I definitely jumped back a little bit halfway through when they reveal all those people there in the forest. I thought that was just something I wasn't expecting. It was cool.
This really watched like a feature film. The production value was so high. I don't know if they had a really high budget, but it looked amazing. I do wish it was a feature film because it was very good. It created really, really great tension. In particular, the woods scene. I definitely jumped once or twice when she like made a noise in the forest, and then it all caught their attention. But then their eyes were glowing, and I mean, I scare pretty easily, but I jumped. And I really liked Sam's backstory. They really fleshed it out well, and how the death of his mother and then the accusation of his father being her murderer, how it's like affected him in present day, and how he's just trying to like move on with his life, but he's living in this small town where everybody is just reminding him of his tragic past that he has no responsibility for. So he's like a really interesting character, and I would like to see more. I would love to see how this ends.
It manages to tell a quite wide-ranging story of something that has been occurring inside a small town for a significant amount of time. It's interesting the way that the story itself evolves from being a crime thriller, that's what the initial look of it seems to be, into eventually becoming something that's actually more along the lines of a supernatural thriller. We see that there are otherworldly elements at play within this town. And by the end of the short film, we see a vicious cycle continue in which victims of this conspiracy, so to speak, that is going on, unfortunately, continue to attempt to stop it. But it is quite likely that it will not be stopped and continue. It is well acted, well shot, impressively shot, and contains some moments that are certainly suspenseful and uncomfortable for the viewer. So a well done suspenseful thriller short.
I loved the small town Twin Peaks vibe, and the overall ease that they carried out this piece with exceptional precision and quality. From every shot felt very well thought out. The soundscape was just really lush and dramatic, and the lighting was very striking. Overall, I thought one of the main highlights was the acting, because it really kept the intensity that was needed throughout the piece, and that ending was brilliant. So it was great story writing, but they had a clear vision and they executed it very well.
Great performances also. It was a very cool and engaging plot with this portraying a sect and rituals, and it was still very scary, but I think it was still very real, so that's the scariest part, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was the best of the bunch of this group of films. Very professionally executed, looked more like a clip from a feature, very stylized.